Sarah Sabin, Transformational Leadership Coach here. Sorry, that sounded quite high-pitched at the beginning. In today's quick video, I want to talk about a word that's actually come up a lot recently, autonomy. So it's come up in coaching sessions, it's come up on LinkedIn conversations that I've had. Now, what I'm observing is occurring is that the younger generations want more and more of what we call autonomy. And some of the pushback that I've heard in relation to this is, well, I didn't really have that level of autonomy when I was going through my career, or they're not ready to step up to the next level yet, or people, if they have more autonomy, don't take on the responsibility that is incumbent if you have more autonomy. And, you know, I completely acknowledge all of these statements, but the reality is we have a new generation that is about to flood the workplace. So by 2025, about 75% of the workforce will be millennials and Gen Z. And they do appreciate more autonomy, and they are more prepared to move around to get what they want. But the good news is that when they have found a good fit and they've found an organisation that aligns with their values, they are likely to be loyal. So there's certainly a lot to be said for putting in the groundwork to make autonomy work for your organisation. So what needs to be understood when you're giving people more autonomy? Number one, if they need to be supported in their autonomy, so they're not quite up to the level they need to be left fully on their own to do their thing, you need to understand from them and understand yourself what kind of support do they need to perform at the level that they need to perform at. So you are basically having a conversation with that person where you hammer out, okay, well, you're here, there are elements of what you're doing that are going to be outside of your comfort zone. What kind of support can I give you? What do you need? What skills do you need? What training do you need? So that's about supporting and upskilling people in their autonomy. Secondly, you can't have autonomy without very clear expectations. So if you as a manager or a leader of people want to give someone autonomy, there needs to be a conversation that is had where outcomes are discussed and co-created. So as a leader, you might say, okay, well, I need X, Y, and Z from you. Do you feel that that is realistic? So that they also have input into those expectations on them, and both sides know what the level of performance is expected and needs to be, and what they need to do if something goes wrong, that they can learn from that and do better next time. So boundary setting at the beginning is really clear. And when you have that in place, it's easier to hold people accountable as well. And actually, most people appreciate you giving them the help and support that they need to grow, because, you know, that feels like they are being looked after as an employee as well, and their potential is being encouraged. Now, one other thing, with autonomy comes responsibility. So if someone wants more autonomy, they also need to understand the flip side of that. You're going to have to take more responsibility. You're taking ownership for this. And that means you need to be proactive about understanding what's not going well, what's going well, what skills you need, what training you need, who you need on your team, what resources you need, etc. So those are just some quick points I wanted to cover off on the subject of autonomy. What are your thoughts on autonomy in the workplace? Please comment below.